So as you can see, the stimulus checks came in and I got my ARE camper shell cap topper, whatever you want to call it. These things are known by many different names, but here it is. I custom ordered this one to meet my needs or whatever, and I just want to show you guys how I have this rigged up. So I haven't been making a ton of videos lately, actually any, just because we've basically been doing kind of basic jobs, crown installs, base installs, but I got some cool stuff coming up, so that's about to change. So we're going to get back to the regular schedule of like 1 to 2 videos a week is usually what I try to do. But anyways, we're back at it, and this is a good way to kick it off. So this is an ARE CX Toolmaster. It's kind of like, it's not the HD version if you know anything about these things, but it's got the wind doors is what these are called. So these are aluminum right here, and I was kind of waiting to make this video because this isn't actually how I ordered this thing. These are supposed to be black right here, and they should be in next week, so we're going to change these wind doors out, and I want them to be black because I'm going to get those windows tinted, and I just want it to kind of look like a window. I didn't want windows just because I'm carrying tools in here, and I can't even have a window here anyways because this is actually a toolbox. Now, what you see right here folded up inside here is the cut hub. This was not intentional. I did not think like, hey, I'm gonna get a toolbox on the right side of the truck so I can put the cut hub in there. I didn't even think it would fit, honestly. But once I tried to fit it in there, it kind of took some just, you know, finessing to get it in there. But I figured out a way to do it, and there's a certain way I gotta fold it up to put it in there. But this is really cool because now my saw stand is just up and out of the way. What I intentionally got this for, this toolbox on the passenger side, was to just have like a miniature kind of Home Depot here, where I would just have like, you know, boxes of caulking, nails, glue, tape, and I wanted it on the passenger side because when we pull up in front of people's houses, we're usually, you know, parked on the right side of the street because we're in America, obviously, and I can just open this up and grab stuff. But once I found out that this fit in there, I was like, okay, forget that idea. I'll just get a pack out for all that stuff because it kind of makes more sense to get a pack out because I can roll that thing inside and just kind of have, you know, a stock or inventory and a pack out, which is in the back seat, but we'll talk about that later. And I'm not gonna go through all the pack outs because that would take too long. But I switched to pack out just a couple weeks ago. I had all these random DeWalt boxes, and then I saw they had some deals at Home Depot for pack outs, and I was up there messing with them, and I put together a little configuration, but I still need to finesse it. So this right here is the back window. This also was not the right thing. They came on my cap, they got that wrong too, and they're going to correct all this. They're going to switch it out. I don't have to do anything. But this is supposed to be a black aluminum door as well. This should not be glass. So the bad part about that is with the back aluminum door, I'm not going to be able to see kind of in my rearview mirror, but I could just get a camera or something, and I don't really need to. So this opens up. It'll be the exact same thing, just not glass like I mentioned. Tailgate comes down. And then I still don't have this exactly how I want it yet either, because I've only had this thing for like a week. But up here I've got the 18 gauge Brad Nailer. That's our main gun right here. I've got the table part or the workbench of the cut hub right here. Just got that up, rigged up on some, these are kind of things you put up in your garage to hold ladders and stuff. And I've just got them bungeed there so they don't like bounce around. Those things, I really don't use them every time I set up, but when I want them and I need them, I absolutely love those things. You've seen me use those as workbenches on the cut hub, and they're awesome, especially for like the table saw outfeed. So one other thing too, it's probably kind of dark in here. I got another wind door on this side, and this one just opens up to nothing. I didn't want a toolbox over here because I still wanted like space up here. This one will just open, and that's kind of cool to let in light, or if I need to kind of reach something over here. This thing is going to continue to just evolve, if you will. I just keep tweaking it to see like how it's going to work best. But I've got all this extra space up here. If you remember, I had that you know, lid tonneau cover that opened up on a hinge near the back window. And while I like the look of a traditional truck better, because it just looked more like a pickup truck, this kind of looks SUV-ish now. But actually the look has grown on me. I like it. It looks tough. It doesn't look bad. It took a couple days to get used to, though, I will say that. But ultimately it's not about looks, right? It's about functionality. But to me, there's still that looks factor and that performance factor, which is why I don't drive vans for work. So some of you may remember my last activity on YouTube, since I hadn't been posting much, was actually a community post of a picture of a ladder rack that I drove all the way out to Denver, Colorado to pick up. And it turns out I really didn't like that ladder rack. It's kind of a shame. I did pay for it. I'm gonna try to sell it and all that stuff. But as you can see, it's no longer on the truck. And I think I'm gonna go with a ladder rack that's gonna bolt to the top with the Yakima tracks to this, so it'll get installed on top of the shell. And it's an aluminum rack that I'm probably gonna paint black or something just to keep the black and white theme going. But anyways, I didn't like that ladder rack because it kind of went too far over the cab, and I should have thought about that more. And when I actually tried to put, my idea was I was gonna carry like trim and stuff up there, but I don't know, I didn't like climbing up on the side. I was gonna have to get some running boards on the side to get up there and strap it. It was just awkward to have like, I don't know, 400 feet of crown, let's say, up there, and then I got to get up there and like figure out a way to strap it and stuff. Ultimately, I used it for 2 weeks and then took it off, and I'm gonna try this alu rack. It's an aluminum rack like I mentioned, and it's just on the camper shell. So that one's gonna be pretty much just for ladders. And I know people are gonna say like, why didn't you just get a trailer? I like to keep things minimalistic. I really don't want to pull a trailer. If it ever came down to it where I had to, then I would definitely look into that a little bit more. But this is all we need, just minimalistic, simplistic, just everything we need for trim carpentry. So these are the main things right here in the back. And like I said, I still got to figure out ways to configure this, but miter saw there, table saw over there. And what I want to do in the back, like there's like a ledge right here that this is on. You can see this level's on it. Well, there's one on the other side too. And I want to put like a 2-foot, sheet of plywood or something across here and just like get more storage up here, because we don't really use a ton of tools just sticking to trim carpentry. I could see how people who are like remodelers and just kind of general contractors, they need like multiple different tools for different trades. It's not really like that for what we do. So this minimal trim carpenter setup is just perfect for us. And I have all the other stuff in the pack outs in the back seat. So I'll show you that now. So in the back seat here, you can see I've got 3 pack out, actually 2, one of them's not in here. I got 2 pack out configurations. This one right here has drills, impacts, all batteries and all chargers inside this one. This one has the track saw, other nail gun, staple gun, multi-tool, jigsaw. I was actually able to fit all of that in this bigger wheeled pack out at the bottom. And then I have one over there dedicated to jigs. I have another one that's in the garage at my house dedicated to paint and stuff like that. So, and I have also room to grow this thing. So I have all this cab space up here, and I typically never carry a passenger ever, so I can put stuff in the front. So this is the ultimate setup for me right now. I want to get that rack up there. I can get those. You notice too that there's no ladders in the bed because I took those out and we weren't using them. But I would like to just have those ladders riding up there continuously so I can have all that space in the bed. So ultimately, that's it. I've been loving it. And my theory on pulling up right next to the house on the passenger side here also works out great for the cut hub, because I just pull up, and you guys know I set up on driveways and sidewalks. I just pull this thing out, set it up right there next to it, and then the saw's right there, throw it on, vacuum's right there. Minimal setup. I don't even need a stand for my table saw because it's integrated into the cut hub, and that also is in the back seat behind all the pack out stuff. So using this pack out stuff, it's been great. I've been loving it for the past, I guess I've had this stuff now for 2 weeks, and I highly recommend the pack out stuff. So this is the setup, and I'm really happy with it. If you have any ideas that you think might improve this, definitely let me know in the comment section. But that's kind of my setup now, and it's been working out great. I know people are gonna say I should get the bed slide or the cargo glide, whatever brand you recommend, but I don't know. As of right now, I'm still carrying materials with this hitch hauler right here. So this is what we've been using to carry our trim still. And this is that basically like a T-bar that hooks into the tailgate. I want to go to my brother-in-law's house and have him make me like a really stout one of these out of some thicker metal, and maybe rig it up where it can hold a little bit more weight, because this thing's, I've already bent several of these things. They're kind of cheapy. They're like 3/16 like square tubing or something. But that's kind of why I'm holding off on like a bed slide right now. That would be cool to have all this stuff mounted there and then just pull it out. But you kind of lose the space over on the wheel wells and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like I said, it's gonna constantly evolve, and I'm gonna figure something out. So let me know if you guys have any ideas on this. But other than that, we'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I promise it's not gonna be another month before I upload. So thanks for being patient, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.